Alright, me muckers. There's two types of people in this world. The people that love the Cornetto trilogy and the people that are unfamiliar with it. Let's quickly explain what's going on here. Released in early 2004, Shaun of the Dead is considered a cult classic zombie movie and also the first addition to the Cornetto trilogy. If you're wondering what the Cornetto trilogy is, I can explain. It is the best thing to come out of the UK, along with Benedict Cumberbatch. But on a serious note, the Cornetto trilogy storylines do not link. However, they all star Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, and have more reoccurring actors such as Martin Freeman. But why Cornetto, you ask? Simply, it's named after the ice cream they refer to in all three movies. Simple. Who doesn't like ice cream? The movie opens in the local pub, The Winchester, with Shaun's blank expression as his girlfriend Liz is giving him a lecture about how she wants change. Oh boy, she's in for some change. We meet Ed, portrayed by Nick Frost, along with Liz's friends Diane and David.
But you do actually have to set some quality time aside for yourself.
The movie begins with a funny zombified depiction of everyday life. Shaun and Ed going through their mundane routine as if they're already living like zombies without realizing it.
When you got work, player 2 has left.
Depressingly similar to my life. We meet Pete, the third housemate, who seems very well put together compared to Shaun and especially Ed. There's some obvious tension between Ed and Pete, who both live completely different lifestyles. Now, so far, we're basically just seeing your average Brit live their average life. Wake up, get ready, commute to work, stop at shop on the way. We see our first sign of the zombie breakout whilst Shaun is on the bus. Shaun works as an electronic salesman who is obviously disrespected by his staff.
Keep your hair on, Grandad.
Hey, whoa, I'm 29.
And honestly, from what we can see in the scene, he's pretty poor at what he does.
You've got entertainment, I don't know what that is.
We see Shaun's stepdad, portrayed by the legendary Bill Nye, who visits to remind Shaun that he's supposed to be visiting his mum tomorrow. We see our first sighting of the zombie, which Shaun does notice. But let's be real, in a real life situation, your go-to assumption wouldn't be that that person is a zombie. You would just assume it's just a junkie, do you know what I mean? After Shaun messing up his dinner reservation with Liz, he rushes off to apologise, but Liz furiously reminds him of all the false promises he's made. He is kicked out and his instant thought is to head to his beloved Winchester. Typical Brits and their pubs, eh? Shaun and Ed spend the night drinking their sorrows away at the pub and have a late night lock-in. The two head out to the pub drunk as they make fun of what they think is two people making out.
Oh, smile, haven't you had your tea?
When in reality, it's a lot worse. They're singing and dancing along the street, completely oblivious by the fact they're walking past zombies. Bruh, they even sing a song with one. Housemate Pete has an argument with them both for being too loud late at night, and he gives Shaun a big reality check. We find out Pete was bit by somebody earlier today, which is not so good. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that later on, eh? Here we are, our first Cornetto reference.
Do you want anything from the shop?
Cornetto.
Shaun walks to the shop hungover in his clothes from the day before, completely oblivious to the fact he's walking past zombies, destruction, and even bloody handprints in the store. He goes to pay for his fizzy drink and Cornetto and leaves the change for the zombified shopkeeper, once again not noticing. Now let's play a game. Let's see if you can match all three flavours of the Cornettos that appear in the Cornetto trilogy and match them with the movie they appear in, because each movie has a different flavour of Cornetto in. Fun fact. Shaun whacks on the news at home and is baffled by what he is seeing. Ed alerts Shaun about a girl who is in their garden. But it's not just any girl. It's a wait, they think it's some drunk woman.
She's so drunk.
They even get a photo with her. Shaun pushes her back as she falls straight on some random pole, and you'll never guess what, she gets up. Now, this is the moment they realise something is not right as they spot another member of the undead. Their plan of action is to have a sit down. I'd say it's a pretty solid plan.
What do you think we should do? Have a sit down?
Of course, they've forgotten to lock the door, so some random zombie walks into their house when Ed hits him with an ashtray. They gain some confidence and head outside with a washing basket of house accessories to throw at the zombies, and miss almost every throw. They discover a use for Shaun's special vinyl record collection as they're picking out albums Shaun does not like and throwing them at zombies. Not the most effective technique, I must say. They grab a shovel and cricket bat and kill the zombies. Finally, boys, enjoy your tea and Cornetto. They see on TV that if they know someone who has been bitten, they need to isolate them. Oh snap, housemate Pete, I told you we'd be seeing that again. After assuming Pete's not home, the lads find out Shaun's stepdad has been bit, so they plan to go save Shaun's mum and happily take out the zombified Philip. Because as we sort of gathered earlier, Shaun does not like his stepdad. So a lot of you might know the iconic plan already. It's a pretty popular phrase in British culture. Take car, go to mum's, deal with Phil, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all of this to blow over.
Yeah, boy!
Iconic. Art theatre. Not sure if it's the best plan though, mate. Shaun uses the toilet as a zombified Pete is having a shower. They rush out the house and quickly make an escape in the car, making as much noise as they possibly can. Shaun arrives at his mother and Philip's house and makes his parents come with them. Somehow Ed accidentally crashes Pete's car, so they have to take Philip's Jag instead. Ed, you silly goose. They make a close escape and have a bleeding Philip on the back seat. Shaun heads to Liz's apartment solo and convinces Liz and her friends to come with. them. They rock up outside and Ed pulls up in the car, and then there's that scene that Ed definitely says something he should not be saying. I mean, there's no way they could get away with this in a movie nowadays. This was 2004 after all. This was pre-Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it nowadays. But his character is just a tone-deaf moron after all. But we love him. Philip truthfully explains his love to Shaun and explains how and says that he's always seen Shaun as a son. He passes away and gets the crew stuck in a sticky situation. Those bloody child locks, man. As they bump into another group led by Shaun's friend Yvonne, we see some pretty popular cast in this group such as Martin Freeman, Matt Lucas and Tamsin Gregg. The groups go opposite ways as I don't think the plan of heading down to the local pub was very appealing to Yvonne's group. I think it would have been sick if they would have done like a follow-up movie or an alternative movie where it's Shaun of the Dead. So we see that group with like Martin Freeman, Matt Lucas and stuff, which is great casting for that whole group. And we see their perspective. So we follow their plan and stuff. And Yvonne's like the polar opposite of what Shaun is, you know, like she's quite like tidy, like well dressed, you know, whereas Shaun's the complete opposite. So I guess Shaun's got his cornettos, she could have her low fat yogurts, for example. That would have been a cool little alternative movie, I think. Because we will be seeing Yvonne later on in the movie, remember. They see how many zombies are surrounding the Winchester, and it's not looking good, Brev.
Is it clear?
No.
Diane, the failed actress, comes up with the idea to pretend to be zombies. This is where AMC must have got the idea for The Walking Dead Season 1 from.
What is that?
The crew stumble through the zombie crowd acting like zombies. Very risky. I guess a zombie blood coat didn't ring a bell. Come on, guys. I guess back then they didn't have the shows like The Walking Dead and Last of Us to give them some like great zombie knowledge, you know. Even Zombieland, everyone knows the rule double tap, you know. Shaun loses his head at Ed, drawing all the attention from the zombies. Impulsively, he leads the herd away from the crew as David stupidly smashed the pub window. Shaun arrives safe and sound, impressing Liz, and rips open a packet of pork scratchings. Ed fetches Shaun a nice Guinness and they sit round in the dark with beers and peanuts. Just what David didn't want to do.
We are in a pub. What are we going to do?
Shaun goes to sort the electric out when he notices a lot of zombies waiting at the back door. Ed wins some cash on the fruity, which creates a lot of noise, attracting the zombies, and boom, the jukebox goes off. Cue Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. You just know this scene is about to cook. They underwhelmingly beat the zombie barman with pool cues, matching the beat of the Queen song, making a pretty funny scene. Diane practices her dart skills and hits bullseye right on Shaun's head. The barman is killed by being shoved into the jukebox. Liz discovers Shaun's mum has been bit, and they all prepare to take on the zombies with the Winchester's very own Winchester rifle. Ed did say it would work. Shaun sees his mum in pain and Liz Liz alerts him that she has been bit. David decides to point the gun at Shaun's mum, Barbara. For some reason now he decides he wants to kill something. Shaun pulls a bottle on David and Ed pulls a corkscrew. Liz calms everyone down and we see Shaun's mum as a zombie.
In a minute, she'll be just another zombie. We're not using the Z word.
Apologise, Ed, we don't use the Z word round here. I think Ed should probably take the advice for himself about some other words, maybe. Just, you know. Shaun hits David for making a snarky comment. David is dragged out the window by zombies and eaten alive. Good riddance. Diane storms the zombie crowd, attacking them with David's leg. What a muppet. The zombies are now inside the pub. How are they gonna get out of this one? Housemate Pete has somehow made his way to the Winchester and ironically is the zombie that happens to bite Ed. Yep, guys, Ed has been bit. Very sad, very, very sad. Quite an unexpected turn to the story, to be fair. You'd expect them to survive or all go out together. Shaun shoots zombie Pete and hides behind the bar with Liz, and Ed just manages to get behind there too, but on borrowed time. Ed has been bit multiple times. Shaun sets fire to the pub and they head down to the cellar. We see an emotional conversation between best friends Ed and Shaun. And of course, Ed manages to drop gas mid-convo.
I'm sorry, Shaun. Oh, God.
Shaun and Liz leave Ed with a cig and the Winchester rifle to die gracefully in his beloved Winchester pub. Liz and Shaun escape the pub as the military rocks up, wiping out all the zombies. And shock. It's actually Yvonne and her groups who alerted the soldiers of the survivors in the Winchester. We flash forward 6 months to see a television broadcast referring to the day as Z-Day. Everything seems pretty back to normal with a hint of zombies being used as slaves and entertainment. And a lot of zombie talk, of course. Shaun is back at his house living with Liz, planning a day of having a roast dinner and going to the pub. Shaun pops to the garden shed to visit his good friend Ed. You may be thinking, wait, didn't Ed die? Yes, he did. Shaun keeps zombie Ed in his shed chained up so they can play video games and watch movies together in peace. And there we have it. The first edition of the Cornetto trilogy, Shaun of the Dead.